Joining us from the band all the way from Melbourne, Australia, waking up early for us. Thank you so much. We have Bec and Will from Terminal Sleep. My friends, how are you doing today? Thank you for taking the time, waking up early, and jumping on with us today.
All good, no worries at all. Happy to be here. Thanks so much for having us. I think Will we can't hear Will, so it might just be
He's
me.
just here to sit here and look pretty.
Do
That's
you,
what it is.
Yeah, he's
Will?
just here for my support.
Do you, by chance, happen to have like a yellow legal pad or anything like that that you can write on to give us like one-word answers or something like that? So
Just
you
do
got,
interpretive dance. I vote. He votes for yellow Lego pad. I vote for interpretive dance.
yeah, I was gonna say sign
I like the
language.
dance as well, to be honest.
There you go. I was going to say sign language, but I don't know if Australian sign language and American sign language work together or not. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Anyway, y'all, we're so happy to have you guys
it's
on
fine.
here. We've been dealing with technical difficulties all fucking day, so sorry that the gremlins took out at least one of you, but hey, 50% is not a bad ratio right now.
It's yeah, I like those odds. We're doing
Mhm.
good.
Fuck yeah. So let's just start from the beginning. Like, we know almost nothing about y'all except like where you're from and the music that you play. You guys haven't been playing together for too crazy long. My understanding. I think that you guys started playing shows like over the summer, right? Like, how did you all meet and decide to start playing this like aggressive form of music that you guys play?
Well, Will and I have been friends for a very long time, about over 10 years, and we'd always just sort of spoken about starting a band. We'd always wanted to do it, but for a long time nothing happened. And then we went to Invasion Fest 2020 in Sydney, which is like a hardcore festival
Mm.
here in Australia. And we were watching all the bands, and we are just like, we can do this. Like, we need to do this. So yeah, we finally got it happening, and then we got Dom, and then we met Todd, our drummer, through Dom, and then we met Dustin, our bassist, through Todd. So that's sort of how it formed. And yeah, finally, after all our lockdowns here in Melbourne, we were finally actually able to start playing. And here we are, released one song, so we're ready to go.
Yeah. Before Cori jumps in here, were y'all writing through like the pandemic? I know the Australia was all up and down with the amount of lockdowns that were going on and changing and stuff like that. So had you guys been working on music for a little while before getting out to play shows?
Yes, a long time. So the songs that we're playing now in our shows, we've been sitting on for a very long time. So it's good and bad.
Yeah, well, I was gonna ask, because there are a couple of like live shows popping around on like YouTube and stuff like that. Do you feel that being sitting on those for so long has actually helped you refine those and be able to get out and like do that thing live?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. It just sort of becomes like second nature. I don't have to really think about it too much. I still get nervous about like me personally forgetting the lyrics, but it hasn't happened yet, so I think we're good.
Yeah, it will,
But
and
yeah,
you'll be fine.
it
You'll
definitely.
you'll get over it. It'll be fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Cori, please jump in here.
Oh yeah. So I have like a ton of questions because, like John said, you're new. I want to know more. I want to know first of all, when will we get more? Because like I'm not in
Yep.
Australia, so I can't come to your shows.
No, of
No,
course.
I mean, everybody's probably looking forward to more. So what does the future hold? What's going to happen in the next few months?
So is
We
my
have a
audio
lot
working
more.
now? Can you hear
Yeah,
that?
it is working. We're
Oh
rocking over there.
yeah!
We did it.
All right.
He's
You
more
can
than
help
just a pretty
me.
face. He's
Headphones
bringing
are
in the
fucking
While you
voice.
answer
cancelled.
this
It's
question.
Mac speakers. All right.
Yeah.
We got another track coming in about 2 to 3 weeks coming out, and then we've got a whole bunch of shit that will get gradually released over time. But we've already, because we wrote it and recorded it so long ago, we're already in the process of writing new shit.
Mm.
So
Nice.
hopefully, by the time that's all out, we've already got ready for the next as well.
That's the way to do
So
it. That's
steamrolling through.
Yeah, so we have
Steamrolling.
plenty to come.
Yeah. Steamrolling is about how I can describe your music. I describe it as like break shit music. And
Mad.
definitely, I mean, it wouldn't really be an introductory interview if we didn't talk about your influences and what has pissed you off so much that you've made this very, very angry music.
just everything. It's
That checks out.
the
how do
world.
Life.
how do I pinpoint exactly what that is?
Just look at the news every
I
day.
guess
It's not a lot of good stuff going on, that's for sure. So
Dude, I'm in
it's
America.
kind of
I
a
understand.
oof, yeah.
yeah.
We deal with some shit here, but stuff going in
Yeah.
the States is a lot spicy at the moment. But yeah, just in general, that's it. It's just kind of funny. This is our first interview. And I found it funny that like this is the one song that has a kind of Slipknot sounding riff in it,
Oh yeah.
and the first interview was with Knotfest. So it's like
It's like you
kinda
planned it
meant
from
to
the
be.
very beginning.
Worked
You
out
played that 4D chess.
Yeah. Our first interview is gonna be Knotfest because we're gonna put this riff in there and
yeah.
perfect. Oh no,
But,
I'm stoked
yeah,
that we're your first interview though. Then thank you for like this. That's cool. Like that's exciting for
Yeah,
us.
it's so cool.
a little bit nerve
No,
wracking,
thank
but
you.
No, like
few more
Very
that's
nerve-wracking.
exciting for us. I've never been somebody's first interview. So like that is actually really
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
I'm
Oh, that's
stoked.
so
Thank
sweet.
you.
So sweet. It's a special moment,
Yeah.
everybody.
It's
Yeah.
a cute moment for us.
Well, to I guess bring us back from like the hug fest that we're doing right now. What were your intros into heavy music and like the influences that you take into Terminal Sleep?
there's quite a bit. It's kind of
Yeah.
once you hear a lot more of the body of the work, you'll probably get a lot of it from. It's all
Sure.
quite different. But I come from the punk hardcore metal world, as we all do here. But a lot of it is, I'd say, probably like mid 2000s kind of metalcore influence, mixed with a lot of like British metalcore from back in those days, mixed with kind of harder shit, such as like God's Hate and heavy, very heavy, aggressive hardcore now. So it's kind of a mix of those two genres in a way.
Mm.
But it's kind of, this band is like whatever we want to do, we just do. So if we want to do a pinch harmonic or like a rude as fuck dive bomb over something, we just go and do it. Which is fun, which we haven't had a band doing that beforehand for us. Sorry. So it's kind of just whatever sounds good, we just go with it. And hopefully people like it, which seems to be working so far. So just keep at it. Yeah.
Yep.
Mm.
Yeah.
How about you, Bec?
Yeah, I was gonna say, Beck, how about you?
Oh, sorry if you can hear noise in the background. For me, well, this is actually my first band, so first time doing vocals. But I just sort of grew up listening to like Converge, same as Will, like the early 2000 metalcore. I've been getting back into like early Architects lately, and I can see some of our inspiration from them.
Mm.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, really
yeah.
similar to Will.
I listened to the album Ruined by Architects so much when I was 19 that I think that will kind of influence most things that I write, even if it's going in more hardcore direction. It always has that little thing in it. So yeah, once you hear a lot of it, you'll kind of probably notice that a bit. But it's a bit of everything once it all comes out.
Yeah, and it's always like,
Yeah.
Cori, I don't think that we've done an interview where we've only heard one song from a band before. Like, usually we have a little bit more to kind of go from. Again, listen to the sets that are up on YouTube and everything like that, but you can only get so much from those. Where do you think, so you mentioned that you guys have been sitting on these songs for a little while and getting out and starting to play them, and now as soon as you are going to be releasing more stuff, you'll have even more stuff going on the pipeline. How do you feel that you just, even in the small little bit that you guys have been playing, that your experience as a band and like the sound that y'all are trying to achieve has even just more from the first batch of songs to the ones that you're now working on that are going to be released whenever the first batch of songs are released?
Yeah. It's still even getting harder. I think the whole aim of this band is just to make, when there's heavy bits, just make them as ignorant as possible. So we're trying to make that the motto, is like, just keep it hard. Like an all killer, no filler kind of approach to it is what we're trying to do. So when we're writing, it's a lot easier now since we've kind of learned how to demo shit. Back in the day, I had no idea what I was doing with that. So now I know how to do that. It's way easier to demo. We have Bec come around here, like do some vocal tracks and stuff, and then we can kind of figure out what works and what doesn't. But that's kind of been changing it completely compared to previously. But then that's the same as every single band that's come out of lockdown as well. They're all demoing at home and nerding out, getting their shit done. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, Cori, did you want to jump in here?
I was gonna let Bec add something if she wanted to add something first.
No, I think I'm good. I think Will's sort of nailing this, to be honest.
I'm so tired still. I'm trying to get into it. I apologize.
Yeah, no, I'm like
you're...
half asleep. Like, all right, pay attention.
If it makes you feel any better, I've been awake since 3 a.m. The only reason I don't look half asleep is I've got like 16 layers of makeup on. So
I think you need a couple more of these as well.
Oh, I've had so much coffee today. It's bad.
we're one of those people, like for me, I'm one of those people that like makes a full pot, like, when I wake up and like 2 hours later, all of it's gone. I'm like, guess I better make more then.
I'm one of those people with a professional espresso machine. So like my addiction is insane. It's bad. So one thing that's interesting for me is that you guys have been doing a lot of live shows, and it, like when you go and you play live, but you don't have a whole lot of music released, how is the audience like reacting to your music live when they can't, go find you on YouTube or learn more or anything like that? It's almost a little bit backwards the way that you've done it. It's cool. I'm not going to lie. I kind of wish I could just like go into a band blind like that, but I'm one of those people that I've got to like search. But how is the audience reacting to that kind of opposite approach?
I think they're actually reacting really well. We played our second show in Sydney and like didn't know any of our songs, but they went off like moshing at every bit. It was wild. So we've had a really good response, and we actually weren't meant to start playing shows live this early, but we got offered our first show, and it would be stupid to say no for what it was. We're playing Antagonist AD, which are like veterans here in Australia and New Zealand. So we're just like, fuck it, we'll just play this. No one knows our shit, but we'll just have fun. And then from there, we've been getting more offers. So we just sort of want to just have fun with it, I guess. And now it's going to make it even more rewarding when we do release music, and when hopefully people do then know our stuff. Like people know Death Therapy now. So our last show, we had people, singing along to it. So that was a really cool experience. So yeah, looking forward to more of that.
That first show, our other guitarist saw people trying to sing along to songs. And we hadn't even released anything. I'm like, I guess people were so fucking keen post lockdown to just get into music and stuff. It's great. Like in Australia, I don't know what the
States have been wild.
Yeah, Nashville's been open since like June of 2020, y'all. Like no one cared.
Yeah, people are going wild, so it's sick. Like that Sound of Fury Fest in the States recently, it looked absolutely bonkers.
Oh my, yeah. Holy shit.
Yeah, it's good. The shows are great now. Like even local bands here are selling shit out, which never used to be the case a lot of the time beforehand. People were just turning up, getting into it, singing songs that they don't know. It's good.
And you feel like the lockdown? Do you feel like the lockdown over there? Because I know it was a lot more strict for you guys. I'm in Oregon, so we were more strict than where John is, which is in Nashville. Do you think that really helped the music scene? Because now people are just starved for live music?
Massively. Yeah, definitely here.
Definitely.
So we had the longest, I think Melbourne had the longest lockdown in the world.
Yeah, so you guys were bonkers.
Yeah.
Yeah. There wasn't a lot to do. We were super fortunate in our band, which wasn't the same case for a lot of other people, where most of us could work through it. So myself and Bec could work from home, so we could financially support ourselves. And actually, that's the only reason why we could really realistically do the release what we did. We got no fucking band money, so we've all funneled our own money into it, what we've saved over this period, to try and make it as good as possible. But obviously, that's super hard for a lot of people, especially in the States. Like if you don't have a job, here's $1,000 to last you however long, trying to survive or do anything on that. So it's very, very lucky here compared to a lot of places in the world, which we're very privileged to have, which is good.
Yeah, and it's I guess interesting side effect of like starting when you did, right? Because you didn't have to like, could you imagine if you started like a year prior, like all the stuff that was going on, it would have just like put a stop to everything. So maybe like, you
Yeah.
know, bright silver linings and stuff like that. Like you guys had your lives beforehand while you were trying to build this thing. So waited a little bit longer to do it. But yeah, it does seem like a fortunate position to be in, that it's like, okay, yeah, we have to wait a little bit longer to do this, but we can still just carry on like normal as we're trying to build this thing.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, definitely. We've been able to hit the ground running. I think if we had to stop, it would be really disheartening. But yeah, the momentum's going ahead now, so we're really keen to see where it goes and keep writing more shit.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
Beck,
good.
I do have a question for you. Going back to, you mentioned that this is your first band, the first time doing vocals and everything like that in there. Wouldn't have been able to tell from just like listening to it. Like Cori and I talk a lot of times about vocalists that have just that raw delivery, right? It's not refined, it's not like classically trained, but they just use the emotion and like the feeling inside your soul to give your delivery out. How did you like start practicing with your vocals, and when did you decide that you wanted to like be a vocalist or think that that's something that you could do?
First of all, thank you. That's
Yeah.
so lovely. I probably didn't start thinking about vocals until maybe like 2018 or 2019. Will actually suggested it. I was actually like initially learning to play bass. And then Will was like, why don't you just have a go at vocals? And I was like, all right, cool. And yeah, could sort of get a scream out. And then during lockdown, like one of the not as intense lockdowns, I went and got like vocal lessons with a coach here in Melbourne. So that sort of helped me warm up and not destroy my voice every time. Yeah, and then practicing like during lockdown, because not much to do. I would definitely just be like in my room. Like I've got like mirrors on my wardrobe doors, so I would just be sort of pacing back and forth, doing the set in my head and practicing vocals that way.
Fuck yeah.
So yeah, that's how I practiced.
I actually figured out she ruled because we had a little jam with a few other friends prior to this band. It was going to be like a power violence, more grindy sounding band. And it was the first time I ever heard Bec yell, and I was like, fuck, she rips and nobody knows. And that band went nowhere because everyone was busy. And then as soon as we were at that festival we were talking about, and I was leaving my old band, I'm like, let's do a band. I know she's going to kill it. So, and now we're here today, and it's worked out. Yeah.
You love to
Because
see it.
like we've always been going to shows for years and years and years and years. Like Bec loves hardcore metal and punk and stuff, and we all do. And it's kind of like I knew she would fucking rip it, and it's going good. Hell yeah, Bec.
Yeah, once I get over the nerves, which I still get before every show, but no,
As you
it's
should.
sick.
As
It's
you
so
should,
much
healthy.
fun.
Yeah, you got to have a little bit.
Yes, that's true.
Cori, do you want to jump in here with anything else?
Well, you just stole my question, so
It wouldn't be a show without it, Cori.
no, it wouldn't. It wouldn't. You put $1 in the stolen questions jar. So we brought up the things that you have planned, the music that you're working on, the music you have already on deck. What are you most excited for in the coming months, in the coming year? Like what is the thing that you are most looking forward to as the band progresses?
I think we really want to just tour for me because I've never been on a proper tour before. So I'd love to do Japan, would love to do Europe. So that's sort of like a long-term goal for me.
I noticed you didn't say you'd love to come to Oregon or anything. That's fine. Whatever.
We would
That's
love
fine.
to do that.
That's fine.
Hey, look,
someone
if we
pays for
can,
the US
we'd love to
visas,
come
which
there.
are insane currently. So the
You
US
could totally
visas are
perform in
not
my
gonna-
front yard. I will give it to you.
Thank you.
Well, that would definitely
Lock
be
it
a goal.
in.
If we could do the States. I think it's just financially for the band
Definitely.
is a bit hard at the moment. But so I think that's why we've got a sight set on Japan once it reopens,
Mhm.
and then Europe, and then eventually, if someone pays for the visas, come to the States. I'd love to do that. But we're going to look into that hopefully next year once we have more than one song out, something to tour on. Because we haven't even toured Australia yet. So
Yeah.
It's very early days.
I have patience issues. That's the problem.
Yeah, I mean, what's funny, Cori, I knew you were gonna go there, and I was like, I'm not even gonna ask this question because they got one song. It's probably gonna be a little while before they can make it over. But I think that you guys. I think you guys
I
would do
can
very
dream.
well over here with given the amount of love for hardcore in the different parts of the country and stuff like that. I think you guys, especially if you're able to get on a bill with a lot of different cool like metal or hardcore bands or things like that, I think there's an appetite.
Mad. One of the main aims of
Hell
this
yeah,
band was to try and get
super keen.
one of the main aims or personal aims of this band was to get Hardcore Keem to do a reaction video to one of our songs.
Do you want
So
me
as
to
soon as
text
that
him right
happens,
now?
the band gets. Oh, hell yeah!
We can just do that.
I was like, as soon as we get Hardcore Keem to do a reaction video, I'm going to dissolve the band. So maybe it's a bad thing. I don't know.
All right,
Don't do that.
jokes
Well,
aside.
No, but we're not
taking
doing
this back then now. Yeah, no. No, Keem, tell them every other month that you're gonna do a video just for like years.
I just want to see that mannequin get bashed to one of my breakdowns, and I'm happy.
Yeah, get destroyed.
The legend of Bobby grows every day. Fuck yeah. We love Keem over here. He's a great dude. I do
do.
streams with him
Legend.
on Fridays. He's a fantastic dude.
That's so good. Fuck yeah.
The
Been watching a bit of Knockfest stuff actually. Oh,
Fuck
sorry.
yeah, hell yeah. The final question that I have, it's more of a, I guess, a philosophical question, or possibly because you guys are on the ground over in Australia, and Cori and I remark on this show a lot about the health of the music scene in Australia, both pre-lockdowns and what's been coming out since and everything like that. I mean, you guys are in it. Why do you think that Australia is such a healthy place for heavy music, and why is the scene there so fruitful with the amount of bands from all different types of genres, metalcore, deathcore, heavy metal, whatever it is? Like, why do you think that is?
It's an interesting one because I think one of the actual points would have been due to a bit more support here through those lockdown periods and stuff. I guess we're talking about prior to that as well. But I guess we're a bit luckier here than a lot of other countries, I guess, financially wise as well. Some people have more, more time and cash to do more things. But the metalcore scene here, especially within like the North Lane, Polaris world and stuff, that's, that is the main thing here, where that's huge worldwide. So a lot of the kids growing up, and that's the main thing they grow up listening to, like that generation. So then they're starting those type of metalcore bands, and that comes out bigger and bigger and bigger. But post lockdown, a lot of the like underground actual hardcore bands and stuff are coming out now, and there's a lot more coming from that realm as well. I don't know the exact reason, but I think it's just got a lot of support here, especially within the scene. People are turning up to shows. People are, releasing shit all the time. It seems way more support now for everyone between bands than it has ever been beforehand, that I can personally see, which is good. What do you think, Bec?
Yeah, I can't really think of an exact reason. There's a lot of diversity here, so I think that plays a factor as well. Yeah, pretty much what Will said. We do have a lot of support here, especially after lockdown, and just support between bands. Like everyone's just hyping each other up so much because we're so keen to be doing what we're doing. So I think that plays a big role in it as well. And love supporting friends.
Yeah.
How are you finding the scene in the States currently then, comparatively from your end?
Depends on the type of shows that you're going to and stuff like that. I'm in a weird spot because like I live in Nashville, right? And there is like an underground metal scene and stuff like that here, but a lot of it is like, your more popular rock, country music, obviously, and stuff like that. But I went to a show over the weekend for Era. Who was playing? It was Invest Animate, who's from Australia, Thornhill, Alpha Wolf, and Era were playing, and fucking the show was sold out, and everybody was off their face. It was just like a very cool atmosphere of just like bodies flying everywhere. And I'm not like the biggest fan of all those bands, right? But I like them enough to go to a show, and it was just so much fun. And I think that for your like underground metal bands and stuff like that, Nashville has a little bit of growing to do, but hardcore, metalcore, that type of stuff, I mean, those shows sell out. And I mean, I think it's really healthy, and kind of like alluding to what you guys said before is after the lockouts were done, people were just hungry to get out and go to shows. I think that there was a little bit of that here, because generally, you know, your metal fans are a little bit more responsible than, you know, some people that are just like, oh, hey, it's June of 2020, we want to go out and like have a patio beer or something like that, right? So I noticed shows were pretty sparsely attended when things were still kind of like you had your booster, right? But maybe you couldn't go out just yet.
Yeah.
And now it's like everybody's stoked to go out. It's like, fuck everything. Like, we're past this. Like, let's go. You know, we've been responsible and other people haven't for 2 years. Like, it's time to go out and enjoy our lives. So we're seeing a little bit of the same thing here. Cori, I don't know how it is over on your neck of the woods.
Oh, in my neck of the woods. So I work with a lot of bands. I talk to a lot of bands, and I live in the Portland, Oregon area. And every single one of them, whenever they come to Portland, they're like, "You guys are fucking insane." So my little area, it's usually, John can tell you how often I come here with just shit tons of bruises after a show, or it'll be like, did I get a black eye or something? And it's just normal for us going to shows. I remember I went and saw one band, and like as soon as their set started, there were bodies flying everywhere, kicks were flying, arms were flailing, just somebody's grandma was tossed across the room. It was just bad shit. And then at the end of their first song, they just stood there for a second and they go, well, that got hectic fast.
I want to know what this band is.
Okay, John knows what it is. It was Lorna Shore, and I was trying not to say the name because I always talk about Lorna Shore, but yeah, it's just everybody went completely batshit insane. But even for our local bands, especially for our Portland local bands, people will turn up and just tear it completely apart. I mean, we have one, Dying Wish, that just every time they play, everybody is just absolutely batshit. Everybody went batshit when they were
so
small,
good.
and now that they've gotten big, everybody's even more batshit. It's just
so many of that coming out these days. The early 2000s metalcore revival was hard at the moment.
Yeah, it's great.
Exactly.
It's great.
So yeah, that's the scene here. So whenever you tour in Oregon, because you will, so I'm saying whenever, I'll be somewhere down in the middle, like throwing punches, and then I'll be atop of the audience at some point.
You'll notice Cori at a show.
I cannot
like
wait.
Yeah. I kind of stand
out. Cori, do you want to speak of the question? Cori, do you want to ask the final question?
Yes, the final question. So I know this is your guys' first interview, and this will be the most important question you are ever asked in any interview, period. It's just, this is the career-defining one. This will make or break things. What is your favorite dinosaur?
Spinosaurus.
You now. Is that Tyrannosaurus for you?
I said Spinosaurus.
See, Spinosaurus.
Here we go.
Yeah.
John actually,
you got some dinosaur nerds here, so
yeah, I see. Okay, that's amazing.
Dino fans.
Because John actually got me a Spinosaurus tooth as a gift, which was super awesome. So I have a Spinosaurus tooth, and then I have my little Technicolor dude here, who is adorable.
So good.
So
what was your favorite dinosaur?
Oh geez. So I like it's called the Utah Raptor. It's a big version of the Velociraptor.
I know that one.
Because mine's a dino.
It's a solo hunter as well, I think.
The spitter, right? With the
it's the one. Deinonychus is what a velociraptor is actually in Jurassic Park.
Oh, I got
Where
you.
in real life they're like this big. Yeah, so it's like the big one. That's how you figure out if someone's super into dinosaurs. You just say that.
Exactly.
Cori has schooled some people before. There's been some like embarrassing moments for some people she's just like, no, it's this and this and this. Listen up.
I'm not that bad. You're me. I'm not
I mean,
that
fair
bad.
enough though.
What's yours,
You get your dinosaurs right if you're going to be on this show.
I'm a T-Rex guy.
Exactly.
I've waffled sometimes because I absolutely love velociraptors, but I think I'm a T-Rex guy at heart. It's the little arms. I don't know. It's just like this big old king of the jungle, little teeny arms.
It's big
Born
head,
comedic
little
from the get-go,
arms.
isn't it?
Yeah, it's like I like to think of it as just like everybody has their quirks or their flaws or their chips or their whatever, right? Even something as big and powerful as a T-Rex can't really shake hands or do anything because it's got these little guys. So just embrace the body that everybody gave you, embrace your flaws and who you are as a person because the T-Rex had no choice.
That's beautiful. I like that. That's not a
Body
one.
positivity T-Rex.
Positivity T-Rex.
There you go.
I'm making that into a shirt.
I love
Well,
it.
I was gonna say the Terminal Sleep had dibs on it,
Yes.
but Cori took it away from them. So sorry.
Well, I
love
already
that.
have my "What's your favorite dinosaur" shirt, so I mean, yeah.
All right. Well, we're gonna have to pull the plug on this because we're having absolutely way too much fun, and if we're not careful, it's gonna be like lunchtime for the Aussies, and they're gonna be like, we haven't even done anything with our day yet.
I haven't even
I had
had
to go to work
breakfast,
as soon as
so
it
yeah.
finishes, actually.
You see, exactly.
Yeah.
We'll see
Australia
if we can
fans,
get
I
like
got
a
a Vegemite
note.
post on lockdown here. Sorry, talking over you.
Fuck
Was that
yeah.
sorry, John?
Oh, I was gonna say we can see if we can get like a note for you or something like that to like call out from work today. But Slipknot says
Yeah.
it's okay. I don't have that power. I don't have that power. No, I'm.
Thank you, clown. Thank you.
Yeah.
Permission slip. Dawn cream.
Will, Bec, thank you guys so much for sharing your time, for being awesome people, and just like chatting and nerding out with us for a little while. Cori and I wish you all of the success in the world and are ridiculously stoked to hear new stuff. And hey, hopefully when there's an album coming out or anything else that's going on, we can have you back on and chat more about body positivity T-Rex and Australian music scenes and all of that shit.
Exactly.
Love it. Thanks so much for having us.
Hell yeah. Thank you
Appreciate it.
so much.